My ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. So today, and forgive the sound of the wind. You can probably hear that. We're having some gales again at the moment. We do seem to have had quite a few severe weather kind of warnings being issued over the last few weeks, but it will soon be spring. That's what I keep telling myself. We'll soon be in British summertime and the warmer weather will come and we'll feel happier, and we'll start to see some brighter sunny days and having our moods lifted. Mine certainly lifts anyway when it's spring. So today I want to show you a deck. As you'll have seen from the title, this is the 2.0, the RWS 2.0, which was, firstly, actually, I'm going to address something, and I don't normally do this, but I feel quite strongly about it. To the person who left a comment on a video of mine in the last 24 hours, telling me to be more responsible, that I should be staying at home, I should not be going out buying decks. I want to say two things. Firstly, I cannot remember the last time I went out and bought a deck from a shop. The second, I buy online. I buy from Little Red Tarot. I buy straight from independent sellers, or I'll use Amazon. The second thing is, we should all adhere to the advice of our governments. And currently, where we are in the UK in relation to COVID-19 is that we don't have any enforced shutdowns. Schools are still open. Colleges, of which I work at, are still open. I go to work every day. I cannot stay at home. Shops are still running. Bars are still running. That may change. But actually, we're all doing our best and doing what we need to do, and we are being conscious about our social interactions and reducing our social interactions. But to be criticised for, and having in capital letters, stay at home, when I don't have that option, I think is a little bit unfair. And I don't normally respond to those type of comments, but I just want to make it clear that I'm not going out willy-nilly, going to shops and just purchasing tarot decks for the sake of it. I buy online, but even if I did want to go to a shop, I want to also support our economy, which this pandemic will have devastating effects on. So I want to support small businesses. I want to support the local economy by continuing to spend and putting back into the national coffers until the government of this country tells us not to do that, and the justification for it. So we should each listen to the advice of our central governments in whatever country we're in. There, I've said it, and that's my response to that. So this is the 2.0, and as I was just about to say, Robin over at Toadstool Tarot, and I will link his video below, did a walkthrough of this deck. And when I saw it, I was kind of like, yes, some of the colours are nice, I like it. I'm not keen on the font or the copyright on there. I wasn't over keen on the backs either, to be fair. But then during a recent live video that he did, I asked if he would show some of the cards again, and he did. And there were some that were just really lovely. And so I ordered them. Now these are available from Mate Playing Cards. Again, I'll put the link below for that too. And I think they've taken about 3 weeks to get here, but Mate Playing Cards generally print to order. You can buy tins and things, or white boxes or whatever, but I thought, you know what, I will get a nice little bag or a box for this, rather than buy tins and things. Cardstock isn't too bad. It's not a hugely thick deck. There is a slight border, but we'll have a look at the cards. Some of the cards reminded me with their dramatic colours of the Dirty Pam, which has recently been re-released as the Radiant White Spirit, which is now glossy, whereas these ones are a little bit matte. Mine is the trim version that Kelly Bear did for me a couple of years ago now, and I absolutely love these. And if people have booked a reading from me, chances are they've had this deck. This is one of my favourite decks ever because of the dramatic colours. Let me show you the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords in this deck is wonderful. I mean, just look at that. Really gorgeous. So I'll keep this out and we'll have a look at a couple of the cards. So obviously these are going to be bigger. These do have this border. I'm hoping I've not got a glare, and I think I should really zoom in. Let's zoom in now. Move them here. That's it. It's not going to be a side by side because they're two different decks, but I just want you to see them. So what I like about this is the colours also go outside of the border. So you can see here, even outside, we haven't got like a solid white or solid black border. You can see that the colour of the mountains goes outside the border. There's yellow here where the sun is, it goes white. So it's quite nice. It's almost like the border is inside the card image, if that makes sense. A bit like perhaps something like the Ostara Tarot, where it's a line on top of the image. It's not, because all the image is contained within. You know, the staff here doesn't go outside, or the sun doesn't appear outside, but the colours surrounding it does, and I think that's a nice touch. The panels at the bottom that contain the font change, so the majors have this kind of like this lovely lilac font, and then when we go to the majors, they are without font until we get to the courts, and then they're pink and then yellow with the swords, so they do change. Green for the earthy pentacles. Look at that card, that's beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to now having a play with this deck and getting to know it. But I'm still kind of loving my Carol Hertz at the moment. But let's have a look. So the thickness, cardstock, I mean, it's not the thickest. If you know Make playing cards, you're probably familiar with their cardstock, but it does feel quite durable. So it's got a lot of flex in it. So it'll be good if you are a riffle shuffler, which I'm not, but it's got quite a bit of flex. What I don't like is the border there. So it says on the side 2008, copyright 2018, James Rickleff. Must be the artist who's done this. Have they removed? No. So they've left Pixie's signature, as you can see there. That's Pixie's signature. So they've left that. So I'm surprised they can do that, really, but it won't be the first time. And they have changed the font, so they've not used Pixie's calligraphy for the type. They've used a typeface. Now, it was one of the things that put me off. Having said that, one of my favourite decks is the Dirty Pam, and of course that is typeface as well. Different typeface, but it is not Pixie's calligraphy. Had they put Pixie's calligraphy on this, wow. But never mind. So what I like about this is I like the colours actually. I like the fact that there's a pale light around him, so it's not one set block yellow colour, but we've got everything that we, you know, it's an exact replica, if you like. with the flower. We've got more colours, lots of autumnal colours here on the edge of the cliff as well. So really, really nice. Perhaps I should also just compare it with, this is the ultimate, the deluxe I should say. Let me find a fool. I should have planned this out. Where are we? It's going to be right at the bottom, isn't it? Our full card, more or less. So with the usual Rider-Waite-Smith, we do have this block kind of yellow, but we've got more coloration here. These are quite lovely actually, these colours. It's almost like a patchwork. And the line work is really nice as well, very in keeping with one of the original ones. This one does tend to be a little bit blotchy, but because of the dramatic tones, it kind of suits it as well. So let's put them away. Here we have our magician. And I was talking to a friend of mine, Gary, and I think the reason why I love the bordered the bordered Centennial rather than the borderless Centennial is because when we have kind of like this bow of flowers and foliage, you know, on the bordered, it's like this within a frame. When we had the borderless, it's just kind of suspended in midair, which looked a little bit daft. You do see more detail in this card. So the Ouroboros is, you know, the snake that's eating its own tail that goes around his waist is more defined than in the Dirty Palm. But again, we have very similar coloration in the background. We do get this kind of dramatic colour tones, which is nice. And you can trim these if you wanted to trim these off, you know, you could. It's not going to affect the backs because there's no kind of detail on the backs that you would lose. Here's our High Priestess, which is really nice. Lovely colour blue. And again, very clear, sharp images. Love the Empress. Just look at that sky. I mean, we do get a dramatic sky in the Dirty Palm, but those pinks and yellows together, just wonderful. And I love the luscious green. You know, really, you get that kind of earthy feel. And you see more things like the lake, little river is more defined. The colour's more defined. It's really quite beautiful. Our Emperor. The Hierophant. Again, looking at this, different coloration, but everything's there, you know. I like little Pam's signature just tucked there, which you don't always see that clearly when it's darker. It stands out a little bit more. I'm not over keen on the backs. They're okay. But I think I would have preferred without this symbol, just this nice kind of black and grey tone would have been nice. Beautiful rich purple here for our lovers. The Chariot. Look at the strength card, look at that sky within that card, isn't that beautiful? So, you know, the Dirty Palm is often referred to as the one with the dramatic colour tones, but we're seeing lots of dramatic colours here. It's really lovely, and I love the richness of the green. whenever we're seeing landscapes and, you know, trees and fields and mountains, we get really nice luscious colours. Here's the Hermit, which is beautiful. The Wheel of Fortune, very traditional. Justice is gorgeous. I really do like the colours. Look at the purple behind compared with the Dirty Palm. I mean, they just kind of run into one here, don't they? Again, let's just have a look at a more traditional RWS. I perhaps should take these bits out as I'm trying to go through decks, or perhaps I should have thought about this one and put it in order like I did the Dirty Palm. There we go. So yeah, the line work is a lot sharper, but I just love that colour of the purple compared to, you know, the reds. Wonderful. Wow, look at the Hanged Man. Isn't that beautiful? If I trimmed it, I wonder if it, no, it'd still be wider. The image would be wider if I trimmed it than even a Dirty Palm. But that is so beautiful. The Death card. Lovely colours. Temperance is nice, and I do like the kind of gradient of the colours in her wings. Well, her wings, it's Michael, isn't it? So his wings. I always see the Temperance card as a female though. But I love the colours in the Dirty Palm because I love purple. So, but it's beautiful. Look at the colours of the flowers compared, and the rich blue water. Devil card is pretty much traditional. Now the Tower is very clear, because Tower cards in the RWS, in this and the original, can be, you know, quite difficult to make out like facial features, but it's a lot clearer here. Star, gorgeous. I love the fact that we now have the coloured stars. I love the deepness of the night sky. It really gives that feeling of it being at night. Look at the colours of the water as well, and the greens again. Love the moon. Beautiful. The dark sky we're used to seeing. I mean, I like this version too. I really do like the moon here. Sun. Now the sun seems a little bit washed out. I noticed this when Robin showed it as well. You know, it's very washed out compared to sun cards I'm used to seeing. But it's nice. Judgment is lovely. Again, I love the different background colours. And the gradient of the red to pink to purple. And our world. I think I mean, the majors are beautiful, but I think where this deck really kind of hits you as well with that wow factor are with the minors. I think these are just beautiful. We do get lots of dramatic colour tones now, lots of detail. Instead of solid coloured backgrounds, just look at that sky. Doesn't that look like a proper sky on those kind of hazy days where you just get little bits of wispy clouds? Really beautiful. Look at that. You get that sense of a sunset, and when the sky blazes like that, Beautiful. Wow. Oh look, we get like a sun in the background, just a glow, a hazy glow of a sun. Same here. The 10 of Wands. Here we have our page. So we go back, we've got pink for Wands, which pink is kind of a fiery colour. Little cat. And a little gecko. And then we have a kind of a grey blue colour for water for our cups. Oh, look. It's just the little details that stand out more in this deck. That's beautiful. I mean, the 4 of Cups, you know, I love the 4 of Cups. But that's really lovely, really crisp and clear. Again, because you get all these lovely greens, but the background here, I love this effect that they're doing with the kind of summery sky, wispy clouds. It's really lovely. That's one of my favourite versions, favourite 4 of Cups RWS. And look at that in contrast. That is so striking. A card that very often can be very busy and hard to tell. In a recent tarot playdate that Jen Rodriguez does over at Jen's Balance Tarot, we studied this, and I put in there because people didn't notice. And although it was in the book and people probably thought I took it from the book, I've known this for a couple of years now, but there are 2 faces here. And this is an actual crone face looking in a different direction. And that was purposely put in. And once you see it, you'll always see it. And it's quite, because of the colours and the crispness of this image, it's easier to see the details in this card. The person walking away here, which I think for however many years I worked this deck, I never even noticed that in the original. In fact, let me just show you the Dirty Pam version of that card. So this is the Dirty Pam version. I mean, is there, but it's right on the edge. But just look how the grass and everything stands out more. Lovely colours. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, Robin, you were right. I love it. You knew I would. Clear, sharp, beautiful colours, still honouring Pixie, and that's what I love about RWS decks. If they still use, I don't mind different colour variations, you know. And we had this conversation recently, Robin and I. The jury's out as to whether Pamela Coleman-Smith actually coloured the tarot. You know, we know she created black and white versions for the pictorial key, and at some time after, either by Pam or somebody else, they were coloured in. We don't know with a surety. I like to think she did, but nobody knows for sure. But I love RWS decks that still use her artwork, and even Carol Hertzer decks, you know, were taken from black and white drawings of Pamela Coleman-Smith, and then she added her colours to them. I have no problem, and in fact I like it because, you know, the more variations of RWS decks there are, the happier I am. I just love working with them. There's my Page of Cups, which is beautiful. Love the blue, green, the Knight, Queen and King. Wow. And then we move into our swords. That's a powerful card, isn't it? Okay, again, I'm pausing here because the Two of Swords is one of my favourite. In fact, I had it put on the box because it's one of my favourite. Both versions actually are really nice. Hoping you can see them without a glare. Yeah, both versions are really nice. I loved how dramatic the colours were for this compared to the original RWS. I loved that dark sky. But this is nice as well, you know, with this kind of ripple effect of everything, you know, escalating outwards and everything touching something else, you know, life. Every human being that comes into this world, we're like a pebble that drops in a still water pond. You know, our lives go out and we cause ripple effects and we impact on things, and every life touches another life. And I love that sort of, whenever I see that sort of design, if you like. Wow, now that's deliberate, isn't it? I love that this card is in black and white with the exception of the heart, because in the RWS this is about pain, it's about hurt. And yeah, these grey rain clouds, I really like that, really like that. The 4, and as Robin pointed out here, and it shows up more to the naked eye than it probably does on camera, but the artist was very deliberate here, the attention to detail, because we get this beautiful clear stained glass window, but we see the impact, the impression I should say, as the sun shines through. Look at its reflection around the edges of the window frame. Hopefully you can see that. I might need to bring it up a little bit. Yeah, there you go. So you can see here, I mean, it's beautiful, crisp and clear. It's really wonderful anyway for that stained glass. To say it's just a small part of the card, but then when you see the reflection, you get that sense then of the sun shining through, which we see when we see stained glass windows. So that's beautiful. Then we go into our 6. I love this. And because we don't have the title that we have at the bottom here, we get so much more image. And that is really beautiful. I think I want to get better at using scissors, but I don't use the scissors on this deck. But my guillotine's getting a little bit blunt now. And I know there are ways to sharpen it with foil and things like that. But I think I might trim this deck. I don't know. We'll see. This is just beautiful. Really loving the colours. Wow, and look at the 8 of Swords. You get this grey, drab, dreary sort of day. The turmoil she's in as she feels that she's bound and trapped, can't find a way forward. But look at the colours on the ground as well. Really lovely. The night is darkest before dawn, but it's coming. Hark at that wind. That's the sound you get when you live so high up above a city. Ace of Pentacles is just beautiful. Let's find it here. So we get lots of yellow colours here, but I love this sky. I love the colour of the purple mountains in the background here. It's just so rich, so rich. Gorgeous. The colours around the pentacles here, look. We've got this stained glass effect going on here as well, which I don't think we get. I've never noticed that, but you do notice more differences in this deck, because that attention to detail is there. Yeah, no, look at, beautiful. It's just the little details in this deck with the use of colour that really make it stand out. No broken string, Robin. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Love the sun effect here. Little snail. Such a beautiful deck. Page. Oh, Queen and King, let's have a look at them together. Lots of detail here, but the colours are gorgeous. I love the way that they face away from each other, but they can face towards each other too. Both looking at their pentacle, their disc, their wealth. Really beautiful. So there we have it. That's the RWS 2.0. Really gorgeous cards. Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'll oops, zoomed out too far. Yeah, let me know what you think. I think it's such a beautiful, beautiful deck. The use of colours, the use of shadows, the taking away of the kind of flat coloured backgrounds is just wonderful. Stunning. Look at that. All right, so thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts. So this is from Make Playing Cards, readily available, link below if you're interested in getting it. And yeah, I'll be back on Thursday for Throwback Thursday. I don't know till 8 o'clock tonight what's winning, but when I checked last night, for a massive 68% of the vote was the Delos Tarot, so I think that would take some beating. All right, guys, see you then, and until then, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.